everybody. Thank you for joining us again here at the Kitchen Table Talk. We're so glad that you could join us today. We know that you could be doing a lot of other things today, but we're glad that you took time out to join us here at the Kitchen Table with me, Tina Tate, my man Malachi Beasley, and my girl to the right, Tamara Johnson, better known as Ram. And today we are going to talk, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that's pretty prevalent in the news today, is homelessness. Yeah, homelessness. It's kind of a big deal out there right now.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
I'm kind of torn. I'm torn about it. I'm on both sides, you know, as a homeowner, and then, but my heart goes out to the people who are in situations as a homeowner. You know, I look at property values. I've worked hard to accomplish the things that I've accomplished, to acquire the properties that I have. And if I drive down my street and see, you know, broken down RVs and things of that nature, cars with stuff stacked all to the ceiling in it, and it just really, in reality, it brings your property value down. And so I do have to acknowledge that side of it for the homeowners. But on the other side, my heart goes out because these are people who are in life situations, whether it be mental illness, drug addiction, or you fell on hard times, your mama put you out.
I don't get the joke.
You don't get the joke? Oh, okay.
I can't relate.
All right. So anyway, so whether you fell on hard times or all of those things, but honestly, it's a serious situation. I don't want to make light of it because it is a serious situation. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about it today. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think it's a serious topic. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like when you see it in your neighborhood, it doesn't really hit you as hard because you kind of develop that relationship with, you know, the few that you know when you drive down to McDonald's or down to that donut shop. You see them every day. You know how they are. They know how you are, and you know what to expect. But then I took a drive down when I started working downtown. I took a drive down Skid Row, and I really seen the problem that homelessness has created. And just like half of downtown is ruined. Like
what you said, it looked like an apocalypse.
It looked like an apocalyptic world. It was terrible. It was terrible. It looked like it was just famine, everything. It was horrible. I couldn't believe people lived.
It looked like something in a movie.
Yeah, it really looked like something in a movie.
Like, and you couldn't create this.
It was bad. It looked lawless.
It is.
Anything goes.
It looked.
People are walking. They're just walking across the street. They're just doing what they want. It's their own community.
It reminds me of that movie, The Living Dead.
And when I said they're just walking through the street, it's like they're zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that they're not, but it's a lifestyle that they've created for themselves. And like we were saying before, there's families out there. It's not just, you know, a woman, a man, single. No, there's families out there. And so you have people that are trying to survive and trying to make sure that their families are surviving. And so they're doing anything to make sure that these things happen. And so what is our responsibility? Do we have a responsibility? Is it our responsibility? Should we lend a hand? What do you think about that?
Well, I think as a society, it's all of our responsibilities, although we do have taxpaying dollars that's supposed to be allocated for resources for things like this. But
going beyond and above.
Going beyond and above, I think it is all of our responsibility. But one question I did want to pose is does it seem to be, I don't know, I don't want to be like really controversial, but would you see it in Beverly Hills?
Not as much.
One or two. I mean, you know, it's like if you see it, it's not a group, from my experience.
Yeah.
And I
So what's the difference?
The difference is not even the police. So in certain communities, citizens actually fight.
They fight the citizen. So then that's
Yeah.
it is our
We
responsibility.
need to speak up. We need to,
speak up.
we need to make sure that it's not happening. And that's what they're doing in certain communities. They're saying, no, we're not going to have it. We're laying back on it because, unfortunately, some of these people are our cousins, our uncles, our sisters, our brothers, you know? And we want to be able, you can't come stay with me, but if I can get to you to bring you a couple of dollars or a sandwich or I can see and make sure that you're good, then amen.
Yeah, and when they was having that city hall meeting where they voted to actually expire the permit to allow them to sleep on the residential streets, it was bad. There was a lot of, controversy going on in there where and my heart went out because they had this one homeless guy and he was in tears. Like he was just one of them ones that obviously fell on hard times and had nowhere else to go. That happens to what's happening more and more today because today it takes 5 and 6 families living together in a home to basically survive, to make the ends meet. So while I understand the issue, it's still kind of like we tend to, ain't my problem because it ain't me, which makes me feel bad on one part, but it's like, what do you do?
What do you do?
Well,
what do you do?
We live in this era we live in today, anything is possible. You can start small. You could always do something. You could start a little, I don't know, some little small something, anything, just to help.
To help.
Just to help. Any idea you have, just get out there and do something.
Yeah.
If you can.
And I think that we look at helping. If I can't help like the majority of them, then it's not helping.
Oh no.
But that's not the situation. The thing is, if you, one person, get out there and do some type of work, even if it's for this little group here, like just go feed them or just take them, whatever it is that you do, maybe other people will catch on and join forces with you, and then it can grow.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have a lot they have projects right now too. They may be anything government sometimes gets a little cumbersome, but they do have projects for those who can help homeowners. They allow you, they're allowing permits now, which we took advantage of, and still taking advantage of, permits to build. Rezone your homes where you can build behind your house if there's enough space. Yeah. And so we did that in one of our property locations, and we allowed it to be Section 8, and so that's what little bit I can do, one family at a time. Right. And
whose idea was that again?
Whose idea was it?
Yeah.
To do that?
Yeah. The house in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's this
I know. Why did
I guess it was yours.
Trying to get some credit for that.
My idea.
That was your idea? Was it your? What did you say, Malachi, that made it your idea?
I said I was going to renovate the back and turn it out and rent it out.
Oh, you're talking about when you were homeless.
No, I said I was going to rent it out. I said I was going to rent it out. That's what I said I was going to do.
He was going to rent it out.
I was going to rent it out.
She was
rent out the garage. I was going to renovate it. I know how to build.
Yes, he does. He has very many talents, as you heard on the previous show. Lots of talents. Productivity is the key.
That's good.
Lots of talents.
I was going to renovate it.
He's an electrician. Anybody need an electrician?
Oh, my God. I was going to rent it out.
He was.
And you know what she told me? This is exactly how it happened. She said, no, you can't do that. Not at my facility. That's against the rules, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, the very next year.
A whole program going on.
Whole thing. Exactly what I was going to do.
So first of all, I did not realize at that time you could do it. I had to do some research and found out that you could do it. So you don't know what you don't know. We always learning here at the Kitchen Table Talk. That's what it's all about, educating. So I thank you. I thank you, Malachi, for
she didn't even try to give me credit just now.
Oh my God. Where we go with the violin?
Whose idea was it? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought you were talking about 74th. You talking about LaSalle.
Oh my God.
Okay, LaSalle.
Y'all wasn't gonna do that at all.
No, we weren't.
Y'all was nowhere in that realm
weren't
of thinking.
Malik, did you hear what I said? They didn't allow you to do it. They because of the homeless situation, they allow you now to build in the back. We couldn't build in the back. That's not you could renovate a garage, but it still would have been illegal.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been illegal. But now they allow you to do it. They zoned it so you can turn your garage, you can build a house from the ground up, which is what we did on 74th,
Right.
and we're going to now do it on LaSalle, and that's going to be a 2-in-1, right? And so that permit process is only temporary. When we went down to the planning and building and safety, they was like, get the permits while you can, because
Okay.
it's not going
They're
to be
gonna stop.
forever. Yeah.
Okay.
So those of you who are homeowners and can help, go ahead and try to get that process. Even if you're not ready to build, you can get the permit, and then
Yeah.
you can,
First thing first.
yeah, prolong the building.
But you need to get permission.
But you need to get the permit first. But at any rate, so that is what little bit I was able to do, taking back one family at a time, helping one family. And we happened to be, I was very lucky. We got a very good tenant in there, and I was really blessed. She's a very sweet lady.
That's good.
And so
Was she homeless?
she was a veteran.
Okay.
So I did the veterans program.
Okay.
So
Oh, good. Very
yeah, so there's many programs out there.
Yeah.
You see the place is pretty fly. So
Okay. Well, which one? Behind 74?
74th,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I remember when you were having it built.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know me. I built it in case I need to live in it. So
so it was real nice.
So it was like, let's flesh
It
this
was
out
real-
in
it
the
was real
event.
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. I mean, because the way these people are ended up the way they are, you don't know what fall. I
Right.
mean, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, and you have to be ready to just fall in wherever you could fall
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And so that's a
good.
resource. And if I needed it, hey.
I mean, and you should do it as though you're going to live in it. Not
Absolutely.
just like, let me just put something together so
No.
I can get a dollar.
Well, but a lot of people was like, "Nah, it's a rental now. You shouldn't put that in there. That's a rental. That's a rental."
It's still yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just said, well, I just can't. I need to
Yeah.
make it comfortable for people.
Mhm.
I need to make it something attractive,
Right.
and because I would want to. If I want to live here, then I feel like anybody would want to live here. That's
Absolutely.
just the way I look at things.
And some of the things that other folks can do that aren't homeowners, that aren't, concerned about property value falling, is so we can go out and feed. Volunteer, because that will keep, if you have a man that's out there on the street that's trying to keep his family fed, sometimes they'll do some things that are illegal, like burglarize, rob, just so that they can put some food in their kids'
Oh,
mouth.
yeah.
So if we're feeding them, that takes weight off of,
Society.
the family. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go out there, put together some packs, some packages, some brown bags, sandwiches, chips, cookies, juice, waters, and just go out there and serve them.
Or even if you're not comfortable doing that, there are lots of organizations
That will.
that do
Donate
it,
to
and you
them.
can go and volunteer
Yeah.
at those organizations, because there's lots of mega organizations that feed the homeless and stuff like that on a regular basis. And you can start there just to get familiar with things. I used to volunteer for an organization, and we
Right.
fed them every year around Thanksgiving and Christmas time, and it was
That's good.
very rewarding. It
And we
was,
should take the kids out there.
yeah, mm-hmm.
The kids need to see that you are blessed to be able, I don't care, we'll come home and say, I'm hungry, but are you really hungry? There's something in there that you can eat.
But yeah.
No, I was really hungry. There was really nothing in the refrigerator.
It'll be nothing in the refrigerator.
Oh,
my God, it was dark time.
Dark times.
I will say I do appreciate my lifestyle though growing up, because you know what? I never realized when I was young how fortunate I was. Just not knowing the value of things, and not knowing, not understanding how the real world worked. Mm-hmm. Like when I was growing up, when I was young, sometimes, occasionally, I used to ask my mom for $20. Let me just get $20 to go do this, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes she would say, I ain't got it. And I would be like, you got $20. That was all, it's just 20, you got it. Growing up, paying bills, I now I really understand. Like, dang, I really ain't got it right now. Like,
That's for something else. It's already accounted for.
I ain't got $20 right now.
Oh yeah, and he was the main one. I never forget. Malik said one time we was driving in the car, and he said that same thing. Mama, can I get some money to do what to what? I said, I ain't got that. I ain't got no money right now, Malik. And he said, well, just go to the bank and get it.
Just that easy.
I said that.
Just go get it. It's that simple.
Yeah, I was lost. I just thought it was that easy when I was young. I never understood that you really. I just thought we had it. I never understood that we really had to go get it until I grew up, paid bills, and then the homie be like, "Hey, bro, let me borrow $20." And I ain't got it, chief. Like, I ain't got it. Just like you ain't got it, I ain't got it.
Right. So that's possible.
They learn the value of $1.
Quick.
But yeah, the homeless is definitely plaguing us, and we got to figure out some kind of way other than, I mean, yes, the building and safety, but that's for, like you said, homeowners that can and that are willing to, because not everyone is willing to let some strange people living behind them.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know what to do. It's just something needs to be done now.
Especially with the mental illness that's out there. The majority of them have a mental problem for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's so sad. And the crazy part is, it didn't just start happening, right? So there's some times where you notice things in your children that you should address while they're kids, and people, they just brush it off because they don't want to put them on meds. They don't want people to talk about them. They're embarrassed. But these are all of the things that we need to address as little kids while they're little kids, so that when they become adults, this thing doesn't spiral out of control, and now we're dealing with something, a totally different monster, something that we could have stopped a long time ago.
But do you think, because like mental illness is a big part of drug addiction too. Mental illness and drug addiction is kind of right there, both of them. But in terms of the mental illness, I mean, what do you say about that? It's just, but the drug addiction, what's driving people to the drugs? Is it the weight of the world, the pressures of life? They're just saying suicide is at an all-time high, and like it's like a lot going on, and we are kind of like oblivious to that. It's sad to say that, we walk and live in a world that we don't realize that so many people are suffering.
Yeah, but there's a book that mentions all of this.
What's the name of the book?
The Bible.
I was just good there.
Yeah, it mentions, I may not be able to pinpoint each specific story and say who it was, but there's nothing new under the sun. These are all, there was warning before destruction. There was, we've been given a heads up about what's to come. And so we're actually living it and experiencing it. So it's like, whoa, what is going on? But really, there's a manual that tells us.
Well, what do you say to that person who's been, how growing up in the church, I grew up in the church as well, and the last day been forever coming.
No, when is it?
It's been forever coming.
I feel like we live in them days, right?
Generations and generations we've been in the last day, so people kind of get weary since a little girl.
Yeah,
so,
but his timing is not our timing. So we say it's right around the corner, but our right around the corner is totally different than his right around the corner. And imagine if we're going through the suffering that we're going through right now, if there's another, let's just say 100 years to go, it gets worse.
Read your book.
It's what I'm saying.
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
We have to attack it right now. Do what you can do. What you can do as an individual.
Everything starts off small until it gets big. So just because you're doing something small doesn't mean it's not something that matters.
Absolutely.
Despise not the day of small things. Yeah. So you. Oh my God! I mean, it's real though, and I just wanted to talk about it because honestly, it's all up and down my street. And
it's somebody's family member.
Yes, the dilapidated vans and they horrible looking, and I'm good with like maybe getting a lot where they can all go, where it's safe, because I think they even have something like that. One of the organizations, I know I gotta get that resource, but there's a lot. You can go on, but you gotta go off during the day and then come back on at a certain time at night.
It's like the shelters,
right? Like a shelter, but you can drive your cars on. It's lit. It's safe. You can sleep safely with your families. They have areas where you can clean yourself and things of that nature.
Right.
So
there is help out there.
There is.
You just have to know the resources.
Do
you have
the
to
people
know.
want
Do you
the
want
resources?
it? Do you
Resources.
Yeah. Do
It's
you
kind of
want
hard
it?
to find them too, unless you have like access to the internet and stuff.
Everyone have access to the internet.
Well,
There's
if you're
libraries.
homeless, that's true.
Libraries.
Yeah, you can go to the library.
They got the Obama phones. Get an Obama phone, can't you?
They don't have
You
that,
can't get
though.
internet on the Obama.
I don't know.
I don't either, but I'm just saying it's out there. What you need is in you or right at your fingertips.
It is there. People. So maybe we need to create.
Make it available more.
No, or grassroots committees that just go out there and knocking on the windows
And provide information.
and provide information to people, because, like you said, maybe they don't know the stuff is out there.
And you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are lots out there where you can go
Yeah.
and hang out overnight and stuff like that, versus being on the residential streets and stuff like that, and it's safe. So that's I just wanted to touch on that because it's a prevalent topic today.
Yes.
And we thank you for joining us here at the Kitchen Table
Yes.
Talk, where no topic is too heavy for the table.